Hey, welcome back to Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice. And for video number 86 in the new series of Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice, I wanted to talk about yet another topic which I discussed in my original series of Word of Advice videos, and that would be on respecting noticeable flaw. And if you're out there watching this video and you're listening to me talk about this topic for the first time, maybe you're thinking, what does Bobb-z mean by talking about respecting noticeable flaw? Well, let me give you a few examples of what this might look like. Let's say you're at school, okay? And you see somebody walking the other way and maybe they're having a really bad hair day, or maybe they are tripping over their own words when they're talking to you. Maybe that's something they normally do. Or maybe somebody just has that ugly zit on their face. Okay? It's stuff like that which just kind of stands out, and all of those examples might be something that nobody wants to have in their life, but at the time, or maybe all the time, that other person you see is always dealing with something like that, and it stands out. And when it comes to respecting noticeable flaw, respecting stuff like that, if you are running into other people who deal with something which just stands out, you have two choices when it comes to approaching that person. Number one, you can either look through that flaw which somebody else has and try to get to know that person and establish a great relationship with them. Or you could be like some people who notice the flaw immediately, and you either talk about it a lot or you rub it into that person's face, and very quickly that person with the flaw starts to become either defensive or upset, or they feel like they want to walk away because their feelings have been hurt. And if I could recommend out of those two choices when it comes to dealing with people who have some kind of flaw which stands out, whether it's temporary or whether it's constant, I would say try to look through that flaw and try to get to know the person and establish a great relationship with them if you already haven't. I think there is a time for everybody when we are going to deal with something which we can consider a flaw, and it's going to stand out. But I think it's safe to say that all of us don't really want to be made fun of when it comes to that flaw, or we may not really want to talk about it all the time to the point where, it's bugging us, or we start to feel insecure about ourselves. I'm sure none of us want to be talked to when it comes to that kind of flaw, and we don't want our feelings to be hurt. And I know the same thing can go for other people out there who deal with some kind of flaw and it stands out. And odds are we are going to meet people who either have a constant flaw or a temporary flaw. And we can either respect those people and look through the flaw, or we can make fun of that person and their flaw. Between those two choices, I very much believe that we should look through whatever flaw somebody's dealing with and establish a great relationship with that person. And I tell you what, it's the people who look through somebody's flaws and just tries to love others and create great relationships with people. Those kind of people who do that are the ones who are definitely respected, and I would hope that everybody who does that is really trying to create new friendships which are true and honest and loyal. So, wrapping up this topic, I've basically already said it, but when it comes to people who are dealing with a noticeable flaw, don't rub it in their face and do not make fun of them. Just try to create a great relationship with that person, and I think if you do that, then you will find respect in return, because you are passing on the golden rule, treating others the way you want to be treated. And I think all of us want to be treated with respect, no matter what is going on. And with that, that is all I have to talk about for this topic. I certainly hope what I've had to talk about for this topic will come in handy. Come back for another word of advice video.